This is Political Core, the non-PC edition of The Aaron Cruz Show, where you decide the topics. The only place where you get the news you want from the people you trust. We are your balanced and accurate information resource.
Hello and good evening and welcome to the Aaron Cruz Show, coming to you from Palm Springs, California. This is Political Core. I am your hostess, Aaron Cruz. Thank you for joining me. So tonight's topic, it's something else. Everybody's been paying attention. So what does Judge Moore have to do with tax reform? We're going to be talking recounts. You betcha. So tonight, I'm not sure if y'all have been paying attention or not. We are going to look at the whole situation, okay, from Judge Moore to tax reform to the scandals in Hollywood to, last week we talked about the left coast to right coast and what was really going on behind the scenes and communication. So that's what we're going to get into. So hold on to your hats. I might blow a few minds tonight. I'll try not to make you melt if you have a little bit of a snowflake twinge to you today. We are going to look at something really quite interesting. So I'm not sure. Let's take a look. I'm looking at Reuters right now, and this is a very interesting report. It came out 3 hours ago. That's like so last year at this point with social media and whatnot. Democrats win by one vote in Virginia legislative election recount. Now I put this article on the post for tonight's show because I want you to look at this. One vote. One vote. One vote. And I'm trying to have a little fun here because, this is some heavy stuff right here. This is really, really heavy stuff. We're talking about a legislative body within Virginia. That state is, as far as our elections are concerned, is one to be sought after by both parties right now, and I know that's federal level, but on the state level, look at this. The House, okay, this article is by Sharon Bernstein and Reuters, I think I mentioned. So I'm going to read you a few paragraphs. So Virginia Democrat Shelley Simons won a seat in the House of Delegates by one vote, changing the power balance in the state legislature and extending a tide of Democratic victories beginning with November's capture of the governorship and several legislative seats. Simons beats incumbent David Yancey in a recount held Tuesday. Both parties said in statements released after the unofficial vote recount was completed by officials in Newport News. Never, quote, never ever forget how very much your vote counts, end quote, House of Delegates member David said on Twitter. Now, all of the Democrats, they say, are rejoicing that a single vote handed them the seat. How many dead people do we have voting these days, folks? How many illegals are people who shouldn't be voting? We have, voter ID issues. Recount. I'm pulling out my hair thinking one vote. And that's going to throw back to our buddy Roy Moore. Now, I have been in minefields, or should I say minefields on Twitter and social media today with people who seem to think that Roy should just turn in the towel, just throw it in. Just give it up, Roy. It's been a week. It's been a day. It's been an hour. Like I had just said earlier, this article by Reuters is 3 hours old. That's like a year ago. Well, not conceding to a vote for a week is like years. Years and years, right? No. What we're talking about is the future of our republic right here. This is big, big, big news. Big situation, and it should never be taken lightly. Not ever should it be taken lightly. So the kind of nonchalant, he should just give it up. It's making him look bad after all these accusations. He should just roll over. Just go on with his life. One person said. I will share my personal beliefs here and my opinion about this situation. I think it's high time somebody stood up to those who think that the media can just call votes, just stand up there, based on their algorithms, based on their projections, call votes, and make the determinations and just have somebody throw in the towel. And in the case of Judge Roy Moore, here you have a man whose entire reputation has been put on the line by individuals who've tried to slaughter his name, throw him under the bus, accusations of complete criminal activity, accusations of criminal activity against supposed, at the time, minors. It's just beyond why individuals would think he would even consider throwing in the towel after what the Democrat Party, what the individuals, even in the GOP, who sat up on Capitol Hill saying, just give up your race. We need to find another candidate. This is a man's life. Now, I don't know, I can't tell you if he's guilty or not. I'm not in his life. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I can tell you what Gloria Allred is in hot water and over here in California under the State Bar of California. She's under investigation currently, on a higher level investigation, not even just the standard, but it's been sent to a higher level. About improprieties, as they like to call them these days, improper activities. No. She's under investigation for supposed criminal activities, or, enough to get her disbarred and something else. I mean, there's serious accusations against her and evidence to make them take it one step further, looking into her credibility and other things. So Gloria Allred has taken her client, who's then accused Judge Roy Moore of sexual misconduct. No, she's accused him of a crime. And accused him of a crime, and now they're nowhere. One, they're nowhere to be found. Two, they've undermined an entire election. They've caused doubts in the minds of voters, major uproar in the GOP and Democrats, media swarm, which is just beyond how they can just knee-jerk and report without any kind of substantial, information to support the accusations, undermining our elections and our congressional body and our votes. It's beyond. So for them, these individuals to think that Judge Roy Moore should just step aside is beyond rational. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here. My mind shifted for a second. If a man's name is slaughtered, what do you do? What do you do? Somebody's accused you of something. Do you just go, oh, I'm not gonna run? Well, no. This is quite interesting to me because we had another story come up today, and I'm not sure if you're paying attention to this. So this pressure has been put on to Judge Roy Moore to step aside. He doesn't. He doesn't also back down from the vote. He wants a recount, and as he should. It's all about process. And he's well within his right to follow process. That's why we have process. But as we saw today, there was another situation where we have a federal judge who was accused of they like to call it impropriety or sexual something or other. And this guy, he resigned. He resigned. Now, I want to tell you what, this was all over the news. If this was a year ago, would it have even made major sound waves? Would it even have made it really outside of his town or his city? Probably not. But because somebody's trying to put up the heat, they're trying to turn up the heat. What I'm learning in this last month and a half is the greatest way to influence the general population is to turn up the heat in different segments. So in the case of Roy Moore, he's not going to back down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these other stories, we're going to make them hot topic, blow it up, and it's going to put further pressure. Well, look at this other judge. He's stepping down and he was accused, and he's not even running for Senate. I mean, well, come on, guy. And here you lost. Why don't you just back down? Come on. What's your problem? No. So I hope you're following me here at home about this situation, because Judge Roy Moore, what he is saying is, look, you have tried to ruin my life. You've tried to ruin my career. You've accused me of things. I've denied the accusations. You don't bring any charges. We find out now that the accusers are not credible. Even forgery could be involved. The people who are running that whole campaign were using it as a pressure. They said not for influencing elections, yet now we don't hear much about it. So he says, I ran, and these people tried to take this seat away from the Alabama folks, away from the United States public, and you know what? They have influenced it. I'm going to prove them wrong. And not maybe, folks, not in the way that you think that he's going to prove them wrong. But I have to wonder, because, you're talking about defamation of character, you're talking about slander and libel, okay? Now, he has to, in order to sue somebody or go after somebody for libel, I mean, you have to lose your job or have been prevented from taking a job. Now, look, if the count comes and he doesn't actually get the seat, they have literally, by their actions, influenced a vote. If that's the case, influenced a vote, so if it's that close, he didn't get that job. And one, he can go after him for that. Two, his case will be stronger. Three, what he's saying is, look, I am no coward. I know the law. I know my name. I'm going to stand behind my name. I'm going to defend my name. It's the name of his family. And this is his honor we're talking about. And I can't think of a better person, more rightful candidate for U.S. Congress than somebody who stands up and says and does what's right. The hard route. Now, you may not like it, and you may think that, well, he should just go away, and just accept it for what it is. Look, how many people do recounts? How many people do go through this process? And especially under such hot circumstances as sexual allegations that ended up false and empty and have since fallen to nowhere. Not very many. What we have here, folks, is we're faced with a situation where quite possibly, like in the case of Herman Cain and other individuals, even our own President Donald Trump, we have a liberal agenda pushing accusations and other inflammatory news media and other pressures and influencing elections, influencing the outcome of our entire nation. It's impacting our nation. And I think that the picture is much bigger. And how does this relate to tax reform? That's bigger than you think. I find it interesting today when we talk about Corker, because Corker, I don't know if you noticed today, or was it? Yeah, it was this morning. Gosh, it seems like years ago. I was reading a report this morning, actually, about Corker, and it was talking about how he made some land deal, right? He made some land deal, and so they came to an agreement, and he was going to vote for the tax bill. Everybody was up in arms, oh, it's corruption. And I'm thinking, at first I was saying, yeah, it is, but, this is how they do business there. It's shady. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But then I was reading some more articles, and it said, this is the biggest tax reform in 30 years, yada, yada, yada. And then I was reading Corker's press release where he had put out his statement, which might I add, he needs an editor just as much as I do. I was reading his statement, and the gist of it was this, that he thought that this was the biggest deal in 30 years, and that this was a smart move for America, and that he would go ahead and take a chance and be a part of it. Look, we have not had, and he insinuated that, this was going to be the last time in a long time that we're going to do this. Look, we have Congress. Unfortunately, we have Congress up on the Hill, as it seems, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. Of course, we don't, but they're up there a lot more than we might like them to, because when they're up there working, they're causing problems too, as we've seen over the last 8 years. But really, let's get down to it. Why is it's taken them 30 years to get to any real tax reform? Why? That statement within his statement, bothered me, because it is their job, it is their duty to create legislation, massage it, and then put it to the president and make it law, all right? Well, why is it that they've felt that this isn't an important enough issue to ease the burden on everyday Americans? They all talk about it. Democrats sit there and say, well, and I saw this today, they sit there and say, well, tax reform, we don't agree with this tax reform, so we're not going to vote for it. This is bad for, it gives too much to the rich, it gives too much to the corporations, you hear the sound bites, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you, not one Democrat voted for tax reform. Not one. Not one. But every single Democrat voted for Obamacare. Every single Democrat voted to increase taxes within Obamacare. So spread the wealth. So you have to ask yourself this. Who is advocating for what's right in America? Who is advocating for what's good and solid and true and what makes sense for American people? I have to ask myself if it's really Congress, because we've had the last few years we've had the same congressional body, and where has it gotten us? So when we read these reports and we see just flip over, give in more, that's what we've been seeing. The swaying, they don't want the media, the government bodies, the people, real people like me and you. We want solid individuals who stand their ground, stand there, do what's right, do what's good, make good choices, and ease the burden on everyday taxpayers, reduce the size and scope of government, loosen the binds of regulation so we can have more freedom to expand in many, many areas of our nation. That's what you and me want. And government and media don't seem to want that. You want to know why? They're not easily manipulatable. You can't easily manipulate them. I cannot talk. You cannot manipulate them. They're not easily manipulated. There you go. Tongue twister. That's what it comes down to. They don't blow with the wind. And those are the kind of folks we need. Democrats in Congress surely don't want to blow with the wind and let us keep more of our money. The media seems to love to blow with the wind, which whatever will give them the next top topic or big headline, more clicks, more money, because they're hurting on the airwaves. we have to come to the point where we can start having a conversation about these things. Because right now, as it stands, what does Moore and tax reform have to do with each other? They have a lot to do with each other. The bodies of government should be solid. They should be firm. They should be reliable. They should be something we can count on as American citizens and know that they're going to be there. They're going to provide their purpose. And tax reform, our tax policy, I believe taxation is theft. However, I do see that there is a reason why we have tax, to pay for certain things that we would like to live comfortably in the United States, and that's how we pooled money, and, for safety, security, all these other things. I get that. The fact of the matter is this, is that it's just not prudent to think that we should be able to sway back and forth and manipulate things as has been done in the past. And you might wonder, well, what does that mean about tax reform and Judge Moore? Well, Judge Moore right now is and even our tax system is up against a wall with individuals who see nothing more than to serve themselves. Our tax system is supposed to serve the people for which it was created. Judge Roy Moore is longing and looking to be the next senator in our Congress to serve the people. That's what they have in common. They're both on an uphill battle. Tax reform shouldn't have had to wait for 30 years. Things take time, I suppose. Judge Roy Moore shouldn't be up against a group of people who say, well, you should just roll over. But, it takes time. And I'm actually quite proud of Judge Moore for standing up against the powers that be, against the swaying media and the pressures of public and the loud voices up on the Hill. And if he wins, he's going to have even more loud voices. Trust me, it's not going to be fun. But you know what? He's doing what's right. He's following process. Tax reform, tax law, it's there. And it also, like I said earlier, provides its purpose. And it should be simplified. It really should. Shouldn't have to wait those 30 years. So, I think you get my point. I shouldn't have to go on and on and on, and I'm kind of reiterating because I think perhaps it might be getting kind of convoluted what I mean. But this is it, folks, is we have to back up, like I talked about last week, back up from that Impressionist painting, look at things from a little bit further away. What is going on? We can't be easily swayed. Process is there for a reason. It provides stability. It provides an understanding. Stability, security provides for strong economy. We don't want to go changing tax law all the time. I get that. But, hopefully what we can do, and I'm hoping actually, and hope is not a battle plan, I know that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. If this legislation doesn't in a year or two roll out to be what it should, it would be great if Congress went back in there and adjusted it. Because it shouldn't take 30 years to do that. Stepping back from the picture, I think the issue is more division, more agitation, more unrest creates a climate of instability. an ability for different powers to manipulate and blow people, blow situations with the wind. So I would like to call tonight, I would like to do a call to action for all of you to take a look at the situations and how you look at your political views, if you will. Take a look at them and examine whether or not you've been too quick to judge. Examine whether or not you have the ability to be a lot more steadfast in the way you approach conversations with others, media stories, the way you interpret media stories and other things, right? Please take a look at that. That's my call to action to you tonight. Another call of action I have to you tonight, for you tonight, is to contact your congressional members about Obamacare. We need to address that. We also need to address DACA, huge issue. We need to end chain migration, and it's high past time to make some changes there. Perhaps right after the first of the year would be good to really act on that and push your congressional members, right? Hopefully I shed a little bit of light on some situations. What I'm talking to you about tonight isn't so much the situation of Roy Moore or tax reform. What I'm talking about are the core issues that lie behind our political system and our human interactions and the way we relate to media, politics, ourselves, our families. And just please think about what's going on, the bigger picture, yes? So I'm going to give you the number to Congress. It's 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. And you can also go to house.gov or senate.gov to look up your representatives. You can also look up other resources on my website, which is erincruz.com, or send emails and inquiries to info@erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com. And also be sure to like us on social media at Political Core. And Wagner Girlie is my Twitter handle, WAGNERGIRLE. I also want to give you a little plug about my book. My book is out, Revolution America, Communication Toolbox for the Modern Conservative Woman. It's actually for all people, but I think that it's going to be a really great piece that can impact your life in a positive way, help you to understand maybe some of the things that I discuss at night on these shows, and shed some insight on the way you look at the world, the way you think about yourself and others, and the way we interact. It also deals with the mind war that we're in currently politically across the nation. And it's really great. You can go to my website, erincruz.com, ERINCRUZ.com, and take a look at that. And pick one up for yourself and give one as a gift as well. You can still have them direct mailed and gift wrapped if you like, from either Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, we want to grow together, find common solutions, and find common ground. I will answer any questions I can. Do not hesitate to reach out. We are in this together, right? Again, thank you for joining me, Erin Cruz on Political Core, The Erin Cruz Show. Join me again this Thursday evening, at 7 to 8 p.m. for the Queen of Politics, where we have a bit more fun when we talk the issues. As always, with information you can use to make positive change in your community, in your state, and in the nation. Thank you, guys. Hope you have a blessed evening, all. God bless you, and God bless America.
To hear more and to learn more on how you can make an impact, or about Political Core and The Erin Cruz Show, visit us online at erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com. Thank you for joining us, and see you at the same time and the same place next week.